Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. I am not sure how I want to work this intro, apparently. So today I will be doing a Wip Parade. If you don't know, I am part of flosstube, which is a community based on cross stitch, and every 6 months or so we normally bring out a Wip Parade, which is all of our works in progress, just to share how we're doing and all of our pretty things. Essentially, I love doing Wip Parades because it means that I get to show all of my whips, and I love that because they're so pretty and I'm just ready to share them with you. So a few things first. I will leave on the screen all of the information that I am essentially telling you. So like my start date, where the pattern's from, what fabric I'm using, what my numbers are, that will all be on screen. There will also be a finished picture of the artwork once the work in progress is finished alongside this, so that you can see what the picture will look like when it's done, because a lot of these don't look like anything at the moment, and you're going to need to see that to see the vision of some of these. I've tried my best to put these in order of start date. So I started stitching in 2022 was when I discovered cross stitch floss tube and just ran away with it. If you know me, I can't do anything half-assed. When I get into something, I get into something. And this is what cross stitch was for me. I started in 2022. I don't know how many whips I have. I think I have about 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12. I have 12 whips to show you today, and I'm just going to get right on in to the first one. I put them in like these folder bags. Also, my camera, in my last video, I filmed with my new setup because I got new shelves and moved things around. So I filmed too far away that it felt like I was like in a void of nothing. So I've brought the camera closer this time in the hopes that it will feel like a bit more personable. Is that the word that I'm thinking? It'll feel a bit more intimate, and I'm just hoping that I can get my distances right while showing you these projects. So I put my projects in these little plastic folders just for safekeeping. I also put the name on them. So this is Firefly by Amy Stewart. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I started this on the 31st of July 2022. I am 9,635 stitches in for a total of 13.59%. I should have really took this out of the Q-snap so that I could show you like the full thing. Can I do it this way? Oh, I think I can do it this way. Okay. I am gonna need to sort all these when I'm finished. That's fine. I don't want to take it fully out the Q-snap because I like the way that it's snug in here. Let's see if I can get a good... So here we have it. This is 2/1 full cross on 18 count fabric, and I just love it. I did start working this, originally I was working this the Royal Rose method where you park underneath, hence why I have these here. I really hope this is all in frame. So yeah, this is my full coverage with the most work done, and I love it, but I'm starting to get a little bit worried because I done this as a mini. So if you don't know, like minis are just smaller versions, but sometimes you lose detail, and this was the first full coverage that I started, so I didn't really know the intricacies of how a mini could take on like a completely different look. I'm worried that when I get to the portion of the woman's face in this, that it will be pixeled. And I'm still gonna love it either way because it's my first project and it was my first time discovering Amy Stewart, whose artwork I love. But I'm really worried now. But this is the progress we have on this one. And I will sort these all later into a bit more of organization. I never even thought, like most of these, I'm really sorry if the crinkle and bothers you. Most of these I don't need to move the Q-snap for because they just don't have that much progress. So some of them are in Q-snap, some of them are in hoops, but you see the full picture. The next project I have here is Until We Are Dust. This is by Night Spirit Studio. It's on 16 count black Ada. I started this on 17th of November. I don't have my numbers because this is indeed a paper pattern and I have hanging threads, so please ignore those. I wonder if I need something behind this because it's... And this is the progress that we have on this one. And I like working on this. It's very easy to just like take and go because it's a paper pattern and it's only, you know, a handful, 6 colors I believe is in this. So this is super cute. It's also, I didn't iron anything, I do apologize. So yeah, this is really cute and really like easy to stitch on. It's also one of these because this is a paper pattern, it's one of these that when I like don't have my Kindle charged, which I use Pattern Keeper on, I can just pick this up and go because I have the pattern right in the little folder. So this is nice to have to break up needing technology to stitch, which is why I haven't put it into Pattern Keeper, because it kind of forces me to be like, well, if my Kindle isn't charged and I don't have access to Pattern Keeper, then it pushes me to pick this up. I haven't stitched on this very much, but it's a small, I could finish it quite quickly if I so choose, but I just like having it in here as one I can grab when technology fails me. The next pattern is actually a sad one. This is Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is on 18 count Riverheart Designs fabric. They're on Etsy. I started this on the 4th of December. I have 2,115 stitches for a total of 34.82%. And I think this one is going into timeout because I have made a mistake somewhere. Like these lines here coming down aren't lining up with these lines coming up, and I don't know where I went wrong. So I really have to sit down and figure this one out so that I can start stitching on it again. And this fabric is beautiful. I'm also doing this is the fabric. It's such a stunning fabric. I'm doing this in the bi flag colors because that's what represents me, and I wanted to make it a little bit more personalized than the rainbow, although I do want to do the rainbow version. So I'm sad with this one because I love it. It's a beautiful stitch. It's so nice to stitch on, but because I have to sit down and figure out where I went wrong, this one is unfortunately going into timeout. And I think what I will do is I will put it in timeout until the end of the year, and then before we go into 2025, that's scary, we're almost in 2025, I will sit down and figure out where I went wrong so that in 2025 I can move forward with this being an active whip. The next pattern I have here is A Little Bit of Magic by Stitcherovia. This is stitched on 18 count Riverheart Designs fabric. Again, I love their hand-dyed fabrics. And this was started on the 27th of February. It has a total of 3,623 stitches for a total of 40.07%. And this is how it looks. Can you tell that I didn't know margins? Like my margins are way off, but I still left enough room to frame, so I'm not too worried about it. And I really do enjoy this pattern. It's a dream to stitch on. The fabric is a dream to stitch on. I love my choice in fabric and this color palette. Like, I really wish that I ironed things, but I apparently didn't think this through enough to iron things. But I hope you get the gist of this. This is one that I actually think I will get into plans. I actually am gonna have like going forward, actually, should I do that now or should I wait? I'll wait till the end, actually. So at the end, I will talk about my plans going forward, because I discovered crochet like 3 months ago, and I'm completely obsessed with that now too. So between crochet, cross stitch and reading, I need to figure out a rotation that works for me. So I do have plans coming up. I'll leave it at the end so that you can watch that if you'd like. The next pattern I have here is Mordor by Silver X Stitches on Etsy. This is on 18 count Ada, 2/1 full cross. I started this on the 17th of May 2023. I have 2,180 stitches for a total of 1.86%. This is nothing. I also have hanging threads on here, so I do apologize. But this is how we're looking. It is nothing compared to this full piece. It is nothing. But I really want like a wall of the Etsy seller has more posters, more Lord of the Rings posters, and I really want like a 3 poster moment of this is Mordor, I've got the Hobbitation and the Elven Kingdom. What is it? Lothlorien. So I have all 3, but I've only started this one, and if I want to have all 3 framed as a centerpiece in my life, then I really need to stitch on this, because this is 117,000 stitches and I have 2,000. This is the way it goes. We all have big grand ideas, but sometimes it's hard to achieve those ideas when you have so many projects. Although I will say that I don't have the most projects that people have. I don't think I would be comfortable with my number getting above 15. I think 15 and less is more than enough whips to cover all of the things that I want to do. But I said, I think it was last year in my Wip Parade, that I didn't want to go above 10. And now it's up to 15. So I could come back to you next year and say that 20 is the prime number. The next one I have is Stranger Things versus Drop Things, Nightmare on Elm Street. And this has threads everywhere. Again, I don't feel like I was prepared for this. I hope this is still enjoyable to watch. This is this is charted by Tilt and Crafts. It's on 18 count Ada. I started it on the 19th of July 2023. I have 3,994 stitches for a total of 3.26%, and this is how we are looking. And I love this. I love this. I can't wait for this to be done. You can start to see this like Freddy Krueger's hat coming in here, and I'm so excited for it. Like, this is another big one. This is actually bigger than Mordor. This is like 122,000 stitches roughly, and I think this one is going to be a moment. If you don't know me, I love horror films, I love horror adjacent things, so this for me is like one of those projects that kind of hits the nostalgic factor with Nightmare on Elm Street, and also hits the new love that I found when I watched Stranger Things. So I really enjoyed this, and it's been really good to stitch on, I have to say. I did drop my thread. If you ever wonder, I'm a mess, but I'm an organized mess. I put my threads onto these like plastic floss drops and just write the number, and then I just and then it goes in the bag and I don't have to think about it, and I just top them up from my master set when I need topping up. The next project I have here is Wood Witch by Raven Stitchcraft on Etsy. This is on 18 count River Hut Designs fabric. I started this on the 10th of November 2023. I have 736 stitches, so not a lot, but it is worked in, I really hope you could see like the niceness of this fabric too. It is just, I think it's called black work when you just work in black, and I haven't got much done. This was going to be my travel project, but since I started crocheting, I've been just taking yarn with me everywhere. But I would like to see some progress on this because it's like just one color and go. I feel like I could get good progress. Also, my intention was that with this colored fabric, that all the negative space would be like different washes of color, and I'm really excited to start seeing that come through in this one. And also it's like, it's convenient. You just bring a little bit of black with you, a hoop and a needle, and off you pop. I do need to pull this one back out, to be honest. Pop you in there. The next project I have here isn't exactly a pattern. So the Witchy Stitcher took out Creepmas. I think it was 12 days of Creepmas, and it was just like little cross stitches that you can potentially make into ornaments. And instead of doing that, I decided that I wanted to pick 6 of the patterns that I really liked to go on one piece of fabric, so I can like frame it up and just have it as like a Christmas frame. So again, this is not ironed, but this is how we are looking. I have completed 3 of the Creepmas creatures. I don't know what you call these. I've completed 3 of the 6 patterns, and I was thinking, I think you can see it here, of doing like borders around each pattern, just to, I started it here, just to section them off a little bit. I really hope that you can see, because I know that light kind of shines through black fabric a little bit, so maybe if I fold it like this. I really like these. I think these are super cute, and they're just like such a fun take on Christmas. So I'm hoping that maybe I can get these done. Like, I feel like I could get these done fairly quick, and I'm more than positive if I put my mind to it, I could probably have it done for this Christmas so that it could be a Christmas decoration this year, but we shall see. The next pattern project what I have here is Open Your Heart by Stitch Rovia. This is on 18 count River Hut Designs fabric. Again, love their fabric. And this is, I started this on my birthday. I started this on the 26th of December 2023, so Boxing Day, and I have 1,291 stitches for a total of 9.77%. And I really like this project because it's a lot of blocked stitching, so it feels like you're getting a lot of progress really quickly. And I think just with this fabric kind of being a complementary slash I think like on the color wheel, I think that like green and yellow are away from pink. I can't remember. I color theoried this so that the pinks and everything in this pattern would stand out on this fabric. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but this is a really fun, easy stitch. I love stitching on River Hut Designs fabric, but I also love stitching, I stitched No by Stitch Rovia last year for my grandma as a gift, and I feel like their patterns are just actually a little bit of magic is Stitch Rovia too, so I now have quite a few. The first cross stitch I ever fully finished was a Stitch Rovia, and I just love their patterns because they're easy, fun, like satisfying stitches is what I'm trying to say. The next pattern I have here is No Time Like the Present, and this is the Modern Folk Embroidery 2024 stitch along, but I'm not really sticking to times or anything. I started this on the 1st of 2024. This was my new year, new start. I have 3,194 stitches for a total of 8.97%. And this is how it is looking. I love this. Again, this is on River Hut Designs fabric. And isn't this color palette just everything? Like, I am my favorite color is Tiffany's teal, right? I love teal and I love that specific color. So I tried my best to match the thread to that color. I brought in the gray to have more neutral so that you can still see pops of the pink through the gray. Like, I just love this color palette. I love it. I honestly, such a vibe, such a vibe. Love stitching on this. It's been so much fun and I need to pick this up again because I am severely lacking on progress on these. I mean, you know when you find a new hobby and it just takes over your life? Well, like, I found crochet and now I just need to balance everything that I love to do out with the things that I have to do in daily life. So I'm hoping to get back stitching on these, and I will tell you that plan in 2 more projects time. We have 2 left. The next project is I See You in My Dreams. This is it's charted by Hade, Heaven and Earth Designs. It is artwork by Genovia Art, and this is on 22 count hardanger. And I'm doing this 2/1/10 stitch. This is my first attempt at not full cross. I have 3,213 stitches for a total of 3.25%. And this is how we are looking so far. Now, I don't know what I want to do with this project because if you look very closely, you can see the lines. And I'm not sure if it's what I gridded with that's causing the lines and it'll wash out and it'll be fine, or if it's because of the way that I'm stitching in 10th stitch. So I had an idea that I would take this and start working my way along the top to get to the other end of the fabric, and then start working in this corner with a different gridding pen and see if it's the pen or if it's my stitches, because I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here, but it's worrying me that if I continue this way I will have a piece that isn't nice. So if I continue along to the side, grid in a different pen than I used for this, then if it goes away I know it's the pen that I used on this side. If it doesn't go away I know it's my stitches. So this is a project that I will need to work on in order to see if it's gonna stay a whip. I really hope that if I, you know, go over to the other side of this and stitch with a different pen, that's the issue, because I didn't actually stitch in pen the first time. Well, not stitch in pen. I used a pencil to grid because I've used pencils on my 18 count and it's worked fine because it's full coverage. Even if it doesn't wash out, you're not going to see it. But I think maybe with the hardanger, it's actually the graphite is changing the threads on the runs so that it's creating lines that you see through the stitching. So I'm hoping that I can fix it by not using pencil, which may seem like common sense to some people, but because it worked on my other projects I thought it would be fine. But we will persevere with this one because I love the art. I love the art. The artwork is amazing. And the last project I have here is actually a fail, because this was meant to be a Christmas gift for my great aunt this year, and I'm gonna have to tell her that it may be a next year gift, because this is Staghead number 2 by Light Unicorn Designs. It's on 18 count River Hut Designs fabric. I started this on the 23rd of February 2024, and this is how we're looking. It's got 852 stitches for a total of 2.42%. this is not going to be done in time for this Christmas, and I just have to accept that fact. It is super cute and I love their little nose. But yeah, this is not going to be done in time for Christmas, so it may be a next year project. I also apologize if you hear anything in the background. There is people here, which means there is noise here, and I apologize if it interferes with your viewing pleasure. Let's move on to talking about my plan. So I want to simplify my rotation, which means having all 12 whips on the go at once is just too much for my brain, especially when I've added in the crochet and I still want time to read. I need to simplify things so that I can make progress on all of my whips, but not in a stressed out fashion. So my kind of solution to this was to have a 4-week rotation. So I will pick 4 projects, I will work on one project for that week, and then I'll swap. And then at the end of the 4-week rotation, I'll either swap out the project or I'll keep it going if I so choose. So one of the criteria that I wanted was I wanted a full coverage added in. So the full coverage that I'm going to go with for this 4-week rotation is Stranger Things versus Nightmare on Elm Street, because I really want to see that hat in that first part come in, and it's exciting me. So I feel like this is a good full coverage to start the rotation off with. Just to reiterate, I think because my next update will be flashbacks to this Wip Parade. So when I update next, I'll tell you how much progress I got from this point here. So it is currently at 1.86%, 2,180 stitches. So hopefully there will be more progress on this on my next update. The next thing that I wanted to add in here was closest to a finish. This one might change because I don't have much close to a finish, but it seemed sensible to work on something that could technically be finished quicker than the rest. And for this, I'm going with A Little Bit of Magic by Stitch Rovia. Because I am 40% of the way through, I feel like this is close to a finish enough for me to continue working for that finish. So this one will be my close to a finish. The next thing I thought was something easy to work on, something that just, you know, feels fun and like light. And for this I went with Modern Folk Embroideries No Time Like the Present. It has 2 colors, there's a lot of block stitching, and I really just have to pay attention when I'm doing the first leg of things, and then I can just fill it back in later without thinking. So this is going to be my easy project, which I might take back if I have issues on this. And the next thing that I wanted to pop in here was a small project, because I have a full coverage. The Modern Folk Embroidery might be easy, but it's still big. And even though my Little Bit of Magic could be considered a small project, I wanted something that, you know, is smaller. So I went with Open Your Heart. I wonder actually, Open Your Heart is 13,000-ish stitches. So this is actually bigger than A Little Bit of Magic, but this is not as close to a finish. So we're going to count this as a small. So this is my small project. So those are the whips that I will be taking in to my next 4-week rotation. And I don't know what one I want to start stitching on. Like, I just dropped something again. I feel like I always gravitate towards my full coverage, but I think what I want to start on for the week is my Open Your Heart. Start on something small, simple. It's in the hoop, it's got a needle minder, it's got a needle, it's ready to go, and I could get some good progress on this just to ease myself back into getting some stitching done. So I think this will be my week 1 of my 4-week rotation. That's my mid-year Wip Parade. I really hope you enjoyed seeing all my projects, hearing about my plans. Let me know in the comments if you're stitching on any of these, or if any of these are in your pattern stash. Let me know what you're most excited to see me stitch on, because I would love to know that down in the comments also. Thank you so very much for watching. Remember to stay safe, happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.